John here from thenailschool.co.uk. Today I want to have a look at these nail trainers. Now I've been a fan of these right from about, well, nearly 20 years ago when I bought my first one. And I've just bought a brand new one, so let's have a look what's inside the box and see how we can use it. Right, so the first thing to do is to open it up. Now you get quite a little bit of a kit inside here. We've got some files and blocks and products that come with it. We've got the tips that fit onto the actual hand itself, and you can buy these in a bigger packet from Essential Nails. And we've got the actual trainer hand itself here. We've got a DVD. Oh no, it's not a DVD, it looks like one but it's not. Oh, you can view online, it tells you here how to use it. And we've got some progress charts that you can use, that you can clip your nails onto as you do them to see how you're getting on with what you're doing. So, you've got this clamp on the back here, on the bottom I should say, and that clamps to the edge of your table. And what I like about this particular model as against copies that you can see on the internet is, I've found over experience, is that this is made of a very strong plastic which doesn't, doesn't get, it's quite flexible in that it won't snap off. So you pop that onto your table and then you just tighten that up until it grips onto the edge of the table. That's quite firm. And then you've got this really flexy arm, which is really flexible. Some others I've seen aren't as flexible as this. All the individual fingers are jointed, as you can see here. And also you can turn the wrist around, which is very useful. So you can bend it right down, maybe to go inside a lamp, or just to generally move around like you would say somebody's real hand. Excellent. Now these you just little nails here which you get in your pack with the kit. But you can buy more, as I said. You've also got replacement fingers which you can buy. So if these get worn or damaged, you can just buy those as well. And they just fit onto the end of this little piece here, like this. Push them in. And then to replace these onto the nail, what you need to do is locate it and then press it until it clicks twice, and then you've got that attached. And then you can work on this tip here and then stick a tip on and then blend your tip in and shape it as you would like on a real hand. So they are really, really good in that they're so flexible. I would recommend that you buy the one from Essential Nails. There are copies, but if you buy the genuine item, it will last you a long, long time. As I said, the first one I bought was nearly 20 years ago, and it's still going strong today. So, if you're going to buy one of these, buy the one from Essential Nails. Right, so this is what you're going to do, right? Here's we've got some tips stuck on here, and how these fit is you just pull that off, you see, then you pop it here, and then you press it and it clicks into place. This is if you get one of these, okay? But if you buy one, make sure you buy the genuine item, okay? So, what we would do, we would just file the nail, the natural nail, to where I told you before, just leaving a tiny bit of free edge, okay? And then you would then push your cuticles back, but there's no cuticles on here, right? Then you'd clip off if you needed to, right? Then you can either etch the nail plate to remove all the skin and to be able to get at the grease and in the nail plate, or you can use the electric file. Now here's our electric file, and it's got our band on, and I put this up to about 7 roughly here. So we get our electric file, we go along the back, and as I said, it will make a different noise to what it did on the natural nail over there. We go along the back, we come down this side, just like you did before. You don't need to apply any pressure, and then we would just bend the finger round and go up that way. Okay? And then we would just go over the whole nail, lifting off every time at that 45-degree angle, twisting the finger round as you go, so that we remove all the shine off the nail plate. Now it's running very, very slow, so there should be no damage to the natural nail. And I said, don't press on, okay? So now we can switch that off again, pop that back into there, we can dust it off. And we would then dehydrate the nail plate with acetone. But we're not going to use acetone on this because it's plastic, okay? We get our tips, and we're going to find a tip that fits that. So the nails on here are a bit longer, a bit wider than people's hands' nails. So you can see that one's a little bit wide on the wide side, okay? But I feel I'm going to use it, okay? So I'm now just going to file in on these edges here, just to tailor the tip to fit. I'm going to come down, stick, okay?
Yep.
And you already practiced this on my hand, so you know that it's going to be different on here. Okay?
Yeah.
So you bring that out and then just drag that down there to deposit the glue into there. Spread that round so it gets right into the corners. Pop that back on top of there. Turn this over, transfer it to this hand, but don't stick to it. And then just make sure that you now drag this down, find the edge, and then stick it down. No air bubbles, okay? And you can see all that glue squirts out, okay? Now on this particular hand, you will need to hold it longer than you will on a natural nail, because it just takes a bit longer for it to stick.
Right, okay.
Okay, so I'm going to give it like double the time really. But keep that pressure on so you are getting that, causing the molecules to come together so it will stick. So hopefully, there we go, we're stuck. Okay. So now just get your cotton bud and just wipe the excess onto the nail. Okay. Now we can just make sure that these two edges are stuck down, which they are. Okay. So there's our tip stuck on. And we're now going to cut it to length, so I'm not going to make them too long, I'm just going to cut them about here. Put through, and you do that on all the nails, okay? Watch also that you don't knock your tip box off the table. That would not be funny, would it? Right, can we see? Yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just shape this nail. Go up the sides, work over the top of your own hand. Just bringing it in just slightly. And then I'm going to go hold it very tight here and go across the front. Okay? So we want to end up with a nail that's sort of like squarish, but slightly tapered. Now if I want to, I can just bring that round a little bit, just to give it more of a roundish shape on the end. Get rid of all these bits from underneath. And then we've got like a squarey round.
Yeah.
Okay? Now I need to get rid of this line. Okay? So you can do it by hand by filing like this to get rid of it. Or you can use the electric file as I showed you over there. So we can just bring that up about 11 or 12, something like that. Hold it nice and flat here, 45 degrees to the nail. Okay, and then just pull forwards on the join. Keep it really flat so you're not damaging the natural nail, and so that you can hear it sounds different, doesn't it, to on a natural nail? It's more of a buzz buzz. It's only because it's like, this is a plastic hand. You don't get that noise when you working on the real nails. Working down there. You just work on that joint. Take the shine off all the tips. Okay, and we switch this back off and put it in back into there. Then if we want to refine it, we can just go over with the smooth side of our file, just like this. Just check that we are in line there. Then we get our block and we can just go over the top. Again, I'm not pressing heavy, I'm just doing enough just to do the job. So now you can see that that nail is a fully blend. That's a full blend. Okay? Like I said, they don't have to be as good as that. You can, if they're having a gel polish over the top, you're not going to see it.
Yeah.
But if they wanted the nails left natural, in other words, just a top coat on, you'd see that line if you left it.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So now that is ready for the acrylic.
Right, okay.
See, looks natural, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So what you're going to do now, you're going to stick tips on all these.
Yeah.
Do what I said to start with. Take off the shine as though you do, but you can't do the cuticles because there's no cuticles. You're going to stick tips on all of these. You're going to cut them to length, and then you're going to shape the nails, whatever shape you want, right? And then you're going to blend in that line.
Got it.
Finishing off with this. So you've got a really nice smooth blend.
Okay.
Okay? So that's what you're going to do.
Okay.
Alright, so I'm just going to refresh this brush in a bit of acetone just to make sure there's no bits of acrylic in it and so on. Just give it a swivel in there. Alright, so these are reasonably long, right? So wet your brush, take it off the tip, and then pick up your bead of acrylic. Okay? Place it near to the back, so you've got that bit of a gap. Wipe your brush both sides, and then just pat that down at the back to take it up to the cuticle, and then just brush that down. Once it's, I should have picked a bigger bead up that time. I'm going to do that again actually. They're quite big, these hands are. So pop it at the back, just enough pressure. See how it sits on the top? Then you can just tap that down at the back like that into the cuticle, and then just start brushing down the whole nail. Don't forget, you can turn the finger around a bit and then just smooth it out. Make sure there's no build up in the sides. Okay? Now I'm going to get the second bead. I'm going to place it right on the stress area. Wipe my brush both sides. See how it like forms a circle? So go from the back down the whole nail. Just watch that your brush doesn't start separating out, because you've got the brush too upright. Brush down, wiping every time you come off. Now this is the bit I'm going to put on the end. Okay. I'm going to place it right on the tip like that. Wipe the brush both sides, just pat the end so that it spreads around the end of the nail. And then I'm going to brush backwards, keeping my brush laid down. Not upright like that, laid down. When I've done a few backward ones, I can do some forward ones. I can also use the body of the brush, which is this part here, just to press in like that if I need to. Okay? Now I'm going to put one more over the whole lot, just to give it a really nice smooth finish. Okay, go back to the back again, leave that bit of a gap, wipe my brush, and then just pat that down so it goes up to the cuticle. And then just brush it out. You've got to work quite quick because obviously it's setting all the time. There we go, done. We'll make sure that there's no overlapping onto the edges, right? Now before you move to your next nail, what's very important is you check there's no acrylic under there. Just flick it out.
Okay.
Because you don't want to leave dried acrylic under there.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
Because otherwise you'll find that you'll have to turn the hand round and then you'll have to drill it out.
Yeah.
Which you should never have to do if you make sure there's no acrylic under there before you move to your next nail.
Yeah.
Okay? So there we are. And they're not thick, as you can see.
No, I don't think.
So they don't need to be massively thick at the ends. This is where you need your weight, or we call it the arch, and it needs to be thin at the back.
Okay.
So when they grow out and you've got to do your infills, there's very little filing to do to blend that infill in.
Okay.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's that. You seem to have got it.
You think? Yay!
Yeah. And then it's just one more over the whole lot from the back. And you're just trying to get a really nice smooth surface now, so just brush it all out. So we've got the hand here now, so I left it a bit thicker at the back on purpose. Right, so to undo this, you just twist it like that, see? And then that comes out.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I'm going to put this on here and then just lock it back into place so it doesn't come out. Okay. But before I do that, the first thing you've got to do is just tidy up your edges. So you're going into the side walls of the nail, right? Tidy up your edges. And sometimes you might need to just reshape your nails a little bit. The acrylic can put them out. Okay?
Yeah.
And then what I do then is I just go into these edges here with my hand file, just to bring them down so that they're dropping into the side walls nicely. See? And I'm kind of using my thumb here to protect the client's skin. See? So just make sure it's just dropping in nice at the sides. The way you've applied your acrylic, it's really nice, so you shouldn't have too much filing to do. And as I said, I'm always trying to just put just enough acrylic on so that there's not a lot of filing. And make it a bit thicker now. And see, I've got that all heavy at the back. So I'm just going to go along the back like this, just to smooth that down a bit. Keep your electric file moving. You don't need to press heavy, just like before. And you can use this just to thin that down if it's got a bit bulky. See what I'm doing? And obviously, keep control of this, hold it right at the base like this. If you can put your finger out, even better, to give you that steadiness. And keep it moving so it doesn't grab onto the product. Okay?
Yeah.
Right, so I'll switch this off a minute. Put this as a ceramic bit, and it's fine. Put that on. Make sure it's locked in place. Bring it back up to about 21 on this particular machine. 2021. And then I can just go over, and then I can just come down the nail like this, just to make sure I've got a really smooth finish. And if you've got your lumps and bumps, you can take them out with this. I can use the inside edge of that look to come down that side. Really nice, smooth finish. Now, because we've done the nails, you've applied the acrylic in the way I showed you, you should have very little filing to do. Okay? So there we are. That's our electric file done. So what I do then is I just go over with the hand file. I'm just going to use the smooth side. Now every file stroke I do now is leaving the nail plate. Can you see?
Yeah.
That's because I'm not going to go like this on the top, because I'll put a flat mark there, won't I?
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that every file stroke is kind of rounded and is leaving the nail plate, because I want to be able to see that nail all the time when I'm filing. Just a little bit just under there. If you've got a long nail, support it with your finger, so when you're filing on it, you're not bouncing it up and down. See? So when you've got to that point, you get your block, find the rough side of your block and give it a good scrub all over. Be careful obviously around the back of the cuticle area. Don't go too mad around the back. Just be gentle. Okay? And then you can dust it off and it should be smooth. See? Nice and smooth. Should be no dips or hollows in it, no holes. It should be smooth.
Yeah.
Okay? Now with these nails that you've done, all you're going to have to do is tidy up the edges. And you see that little bit that's on the skin there? You've got to avoid that. But when you're doing a real hand, you will have the skin there to remind you that not to do that.
Yeah.
So you can sort of lever it off the finger a bit, and the skin, and you can just get in there and file it away. But when you, as I said, when you're doing a real hand, you'll just know. You can see the skin at the sides, and you just know that you must not get it on the skin. Get it off before it sets.
Yeah.
Okay. But these are really good. They're very strong. Pressing them, they're really good. There's no lumps or bumps. You could virtually just go over with a block and smooth them all out.
Yeah.
But if you have to use this, you can just go over with this if you need to. Have a go at using this just to see what it feels like. Okay?
Yeah.
But when you've used the electric file, you must use a hand file afterwards to finish them off.
Right, okay.
Okay, because when you use the electric file and you're coming down like this, you can put lines down the nail. So you just need to use the hand file just to make sure that there's no facets in the surface. Because when you put your gel polish on top, you'll see all those marks.
Oh yeah, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you've got like facets and it's not a smooth, nice smooth surface. But your application is fine, no problem with that.